Hey advisors, my name is Jonathan Michael and I'm the founder of AdvisorX. I'm going to be running a series of courses around prompt engineering to help advisors like you write better content with AI across a wide variety of topics, whether that be LinkedIn content, email marketing, newsletters, ebooks, blogs, and we're also going to go into financial planning use cases around, tax planning, estate planning, and we're going to learn how we can use AI to get the kind of responses we want to improve practice efficiency, help you save time, and also costs. So for today's prompt engineering course, I'm going to focus just on LinkedIn content. And this LinkedIn content is going to be divided into like three different courses, as you can see on the screen. The first course, we're going to talk about crafting effective and professional LinkedIn posts. In the second course, we're going to talk about understanding and engaging with your audience because each advisor has their own ideal client profile, pain points. How can advisors talk to that with the power of AI and enable themselves to kind of create content more consistently? And the third one is maximizing reach and consistency on LinkedIn. So I'll start off with part one, which is crafting effective and professional LinkedIn posts. So that's what we will focus on for today's course. Why do we need to even understand how to prompt? What's the deal here? What's going on? Why are we doing this course? Well, it turns out that prompting is still an essential part of using AI. And although these large language models are getting better and better to understand our prompts and give better responses with lower rates of hallucination, it's honestly dropped a lot and become a lot better. Still, for advisors to get content that's less robotic, sounds more like them, and actually does a job that they need the AI to do, we need to learn basics of prompting. And it's really not rocket science. Once you start practicing how to prompt, and once you start learning to talk to AI like it's a junior employee, you're going to start seeing great results with using AI. So, why do we need to understand how to prompt? To get the desired response from the AI system. It's pretty obvious. To reduce model hallucinations. When you prompt and you give it specific instructions, the AI has narrow focus and it's less likely to make stuff up. 3, save time with back and forth prompting, and being able to write better prompts so you can get the better response or get the ideal response you want right from the first response itself. And of course, there'll be some fine tuning and some back and forth, but for the most part, if you craft a really well written prompt, you should be good to go with that first response. Solve for writer's block and post consistently. I think that's one of the major benefits of using AI, especially for LinkedIn content generation, is on some days, just like everybody else, there is this reality of writer's block and not being able to write content and not coming up with creative ideas. And AI is fantastic at helping you as a brainstorming partner, coming up with new ideas and topics so you can post on LinkedIn or even X more consistently. And I think a lot of what I'm going to cover in this course can also be applied to X. And you can use it on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So let's dive in. Rule number 1, be clear and concise. I'm sure you've heard this before, but prompts need to be clear, concise, and specific. So I like to cut right to the chase and, show an actual example and then see it in action, but just give you an idea of what's a good example of a great prompt and what's a bad example. So that's kind of the format we're going to follow here. So over here, you can see in this example, I have a prompt that's pre-written here to draft a concise LinkedIn post highlighting the key benefits of estate planning, including preserving wealth, minimizing taxes, and ensuring your wishes are honored. So a few things to note here. One is I've told it what kind of post I wanted to write. Keep it concise, right? That's a key word right there. Focus on the key benefits of estate planning. And what are those key benefits of estate planning? Well, at least at a high level, you could just write what those key benefits actually are. So that's the key features here of this prompt, is that it's concise and focused. It's clear and direct, easy for the AI to understand and generate relevant content. So you don't want to be too vague or too detailed. And we're going to, I'll show you an example of what both of those examples may look like. And then it's relevant and engaging. It addresses important aspects of estate planning that your client may actually be interested in. And you can be creative. This is just a template, and you can use this in different ways, but you can just see the moving pieces here in this prompt. The structure and the length of the prompt is being mentioned. Keep it concise. Key benefits of estate planning, and then even mentioning what those benefits are. And you can mix and match based on your unique use case and what you want to write the AI, what you want to write content for, but just gives you a good idea. Now let's look at a bad example. This is a LinkedIn post, a prompt that's asking the AI to write about estate planning, discussing all the different aspects of why it's important, how to do it, legal implications, tax benefits, how it can preserve wealth, anything else that might be relevant. Make it detailed and cover. So it's basically, in this prompt, you're asking the AI to do everything it needs to do about estate planning. You're asking it to cram a ton of content and information into one simple prompt, into one single prompt. And now, will you get a decent response? Sure. But it's not going to be narrow and specific, and it's not going to be precise for what you may need to drive engagement on LinkedIn, because you want to keep your prompts short and specific and, get to very key essentials of what's actually going to connect with the client. This is more like a blog post. Now, this is an extreme example of, pushing and, writing too much in the prompt and asking the AI to do too much. The best way to get good performance from AI models when you're writing, especially social media content, is be specific and concise, clear and specific. It's basically that. It's as simple as that. So what are some issues here? It's too broad, vague instructions, and too detailed. You don't want to give too much of details to the AI when you want to write a social media post. Or you could go to the other extreme. The other extreme is to keep it super plain and just talk about, write a LinkedIn post about estate planning. It looks really plain. And for a plain prompt like this, you're going to get a really plain, basic response, right? It lacks detail, it doesn't have focus, and it's insufficient to guide the AI. So clear, specific, that's the way to go. So let's see it in action here again. So this is a video using AdvisorX for LinkedIn content generation. So we have a LinkedIn post generator that's for advisors, and it's trained to create text-based LinkedIn content that advisors can use to create content with consistently, effectively every day. So we're going to see these prompts in action, and we're also going to look at ChatGPT to see what responses we get. So that's the first prompt that I threw in there, right? Draft a concise LinkedIn post highlighting the key benefits of estate planning. We covered that in the second slide, I think. And you can see that response from the AI right below that. Estate planning is crucial for preserving your wealth, minimizing taxes, and ensuring your wishes are honored. Here's why it matters. And then it provides a little bit of education with each of those points. And you can always respond back to the AI and say, change the hook statement, something like that, right? So you can definitely go back and forth with AI there. And then I threw the next prompt, the bad example, right? Write a LinkedIn post about estate planning, yada, 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 yada. Just a lot of details going on there. And you can see it, it was confused and essentially wrote a little mini blog. Here I went into ChatGPT and asked GPT to write a post about estate planning. And, it wrote a LinkedIn post about estate planning. But over here, I asked the AI to write a post about estate planning here inside AdvisorX. And it wrote a better post because it knew that it needs to write a post on estate planning for a wealth advisor. So it already has the context. As you can see over there, we have a LinkedIn post generator button right there. And advisors can use that to create LinkedIn content more consistently. Rule number 2, balancing professionalism with a personal touch. I think some of you watching may be confused. Maybe you may be asking yourself, well, if I'm just going to use AI for everything, how am I going to really connect with clients? How am I really going to, add stories and, keep it engaging, right? You want to add effective stories in your LinkedIn content, and you can do that with AI, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So let's look at a good example, and that's the format we're going to follow for this little brief mini course. Create a LinkedIn post sharing a personal story about how financial planning helped a client achieve their retirement goals. Keep it professional but relatable. Here's a quick snapshot of the story. So again, few keywords, really important keywords to note here. One is I've given it a tone to follow, right? Keep it professional but relatable. And then on the top, the first prompt, I say master level prompts sometimes because we're going to talk about master level prompts in the next few courses. When it comes to writing articles and blogs and newsletters, we're going to follow a little different format than what we're using here for LinkedIn content. So that's why I mentioned the word master level prompt. So anyhow, coming back to the topic, keep it professional but relatable. Create a LinkedIn post sharing a personal story about how financial planning helped a client achieve their retirement goals. But here's a quick snapshot of the story. Now, yes, maybe spend a few minutes writing a quick summary of what happened in that story, right? So over here, I said I was speaking with a client about the FI29C, and you know the AI will pick up on it and it'll write a more synthesized version of what you threw in the prompt. So again, you're specific and clear. You're giving it a tone of how to create the content, keep it professional but relatable. But you also provided an example. And providing an example, even in the prompt, is really important and actually helps the AI perform even better. Um, because let's look at another thing here. At the personal story section, you can see this bit here. And the reason why, there's a specific intentional reason as to why I put personal story in delimiters. And I added those delimiters there because it's going to be easier for the AI to read through this prompt and understand the structure of how I want it to write. So when I put in personal story, I'm really telling the AI, pay attention to this section here and what I'm writing after that. That's kind of why we add delimiters there. So adding delimiters to like structure your prompt, put it in different sections, that's going to help your AI read through the prompt more effectively and give you a better response. Now let's look at a bad example. Oops, sorry. Let's look at a bad example. Write a LinkedIn post about financial planning and include a personal story. Hopefully none of you do this. I'm pretty sure most of you are probably not going to do this. But again, this is another example of a vague prompt and has no context of what the story is, what it should be about. It really comes down to being precise and specific, right? I think I may have mentioned that once or twice. So I hope you got a good idea here of how you can start this process of writing professional and engaging LinkedIn posts. We're going to talk more in future courses over the next few weeks of how you can, talk to your ideal clientele, post more consistently, and, scale your LinkedIn marketing outreach. So on that note, thank you for watching this first course on prompt engineering. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to try to keep content rolling here more consistently. And please go to advisorx.ai and check out our website if you're a wealth advisor watching and you're interested to create content and client communications for your firm. We apply a method called content grounding, and we ground your AI in a base level of documents, facts, and truth that you trust. You can run compliance reviews inside of AdvisorX, and you can post content more consistently so you can scale your marketing and thought leadership and find those clients you're looking for. So go to advisorx.ai and schedule a demo with us, and we'd love to show you more of how the tech works. Thank you for watching.